Good morning, everyone. Today, in this lecture, we are going to start our second module. The name of second module is planning. The first module we have learned about the management. Now, in the second module, we are going to learn about the planning. Okay, the name of second module is planning. So which points we are going to learn in this module? Like we will learn about the planning, like concept, objective, process, types of planning, factors affecting, barriers, features, principle of planning, importance, limitations, etc. point we will learn under the planning. And also the second point is decision making, like introduction, definition, characteristics of decision making. Then third point is forecasting, and fifth point is relation between the planning, forecasting and decision making. These are the points which we are going to learn under the second module. Okay, so let's start our second module, which name is planning. The meaning of planning. Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, and who to do it. It involves anticipating the future and consequently choosing the future course of action. In a simple word, we can say that choosing the future course of action, it's called planning. According to Heyman, planning is the function that determines in advance what should be done. Okay, according to the Heyman, planning is the functions that determines in advance which should be done. It is the definition of planning. Or in our point of view, we can say that whatever activities in the organization we are going to perform in the future, but we are deciding that activities in the present, it's called planning. જે પણ કાર્ય ભવિષ્યમાં કરવા જઈ રહ્યા છીએ તે કાર્ય વિશે પ્રેઝન્ટમાં ડિસ્ક્રાઇબ કરવું, નક્કી કરવું, તેને પ્લાનિંગ કહે છે. ઓકે, સો પ્લાનિંગ ઇઝ ધી ફંક્શન્સ ધેટ ડિટરમાઇન્સ ઇન એડવાન્સ what should be done, or ultimately we can say that choosing the future activities or course of action in the present, it's called planning. Like the definition of planning is, in a simple sense, whatever we decide in advance for doing any future events is termed as planning. For example, if I would want to go to Delhi tomorrow, then I will have to make plan, either I will go by bus or by train. Hence, it is clear that planning is done for doing future events, not past event. Okay, so according to managerial language, planning may be defined as a forward looking process which is adopted by an organization with view to bring certainty in the present events or activities so that organization may have more confidence regarding the accuracy of future events. Hence, it is clarified that planning is directly concerned with the forecasting of future events. In a simple word, we can say that whatever activities we are going to perform in the future, we are deciding in the present, it's called planning. Okay, difference between planning and plan. The truth is there is a difference between plans and planning. Planning is an active way of discussing the goals, objectives, strategies and tasks that we need to accomplish. Plan are the documentation of planning. Since things change, plan need to get updated on a regular basis. Or we can say that in a formal way, we document the future work, it's called planning. It is one type of it's called plan. It is ultimately, we can say that it is a theoretical part in the organization, like these types of activities we should perform in the future, etc. But when we are actually going to implement these types of activities in the future, it's called planning. Like in the planning is an active way of discussing the goals, objectives, strategies and tasks that we need to accomplish. Like in the plan are the documentation of planning. Since things change, plans need to get updated on a regular basis. Ultimately we can say that plan is a theoretical concept, planning is an implementation of this theoretical concept in the future. It's called planning. Ultimately both are little bit same. So I hope everyone clear with the concept or the definition of planning. Planning is nothing but going to perform the activities in the future, deciding in the present. It's called planning. Like objectives of planning. Why we implement planning in the organization? Why we are focusing on to the planning side? So there are many reasons or there are many objectives for which we are focusing on to the planning side. Like the first is to reduce unnecessary pressure of immediacy, or we can say that whatever activities we are doing in the emergency wise, we should not perform these activities as an emergency wise. We should perform these activities as per the plan wise. જ્યારે કામ ફ્યુચરમાં માથે પડે ત્યારે આપણે ઇમરજન્સીમાં એ કામને પૂરું કરીએ તેના કરતાં જે તે કામ ફ્યુચરમાં આવવાનું છે તે કામને પહેલાંથી જ ડિસાઇડ કરીને કમ્પ્લીટ કરીએ તો પ્રેશરમાં રહીને એ કામ કરવાની જરૂર પડે નહીં. તે માટે પ્લાનની જરૂર છે અથવા પ્લાનિંગની જરૂર છે. તો આ એક ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ છે કે જે તે કામ આપણને ઓન ધી સ્પોટ કરવાનું આવે તેના કરતાં જે તે કામ ઓન ધી સ્પોટ કરવાની બદલે એને પ્લાન કરીને કરીએ, એને પહેલાંથી જ ડિસાઇડ કરીને આપણે સોલ્વ કરીએ તો ઇઝી રહે છે. સો ઇટ ઇઝ ધી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ઓફ પ્લાનિંગ. The next point is to keep good control over all the activities. If we are aware about the future activities and we know that how to perform, where to perform, which types of activities we must perform in the present, we know that, so that we can smoothly control this situation, control the overall activities of the organization. So we cannot say that we are facing many problems in the futures but we are prepared in advance about these activities which we are going to perform in the future or which we are going to face in the future. So here we can say that to keep good control over all the activities, બધી activities ઉપર સારું એવું કંટ્રોલ આપણે રાખી શકીએ છીએ. ઓકે. Third objectives of planning is to facilitate proper coordination. સંકલનની બરોબર વ્યાખ્યાય કરી શકીએ છીએ અથવા સંકલનને બરોબર રીતે આપણે મેળ કરી શકીએ છીએ. કોણ ક્યાં કોમ્યુનિકેટ કરશે, કેવી રીતે કોમ્યુનિકેટ કરશે, કોણ કોને રિસ્પોન્સિબલ છે, કોણ કોને જવાબ આપશે, કોની અંડરમાં કામ કરશે, આ બધા કામ એડવાન્સથી આપણે ડિસાઇડ કરી લઈએ તો સંકલન સારું થાય કે ના થાય ને તો એને કોઓર્ડિનેશન કહે છે. સો ટુ ફેસિલિટેટ પ્રોપર કોઓર્ડિનેશન, ઇટ ઇઝ ધી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ઓફ પ્લાનિંગ. Fourth objective of planning is to reduce the chances of mistakes. ભવિષ્યમાં ભૂલ કરવાના ચાન્સીસ ઘટી જાય છે. ફિફ્થ પોઈન્ટ, ટુ ઇન્ક્રીઝ ધી ઇફિશિયન્સી. કાર્યક્ષમતા વધારવા માટે એક્ટિવિટી સારી રીતે થશે તો સારી કામ કઢાવી શકશું. તો કાર્યક્ષમતા વધારવા માટે પ્લાનિંગની જરૂર પડે છે. તો આપણે આને બી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવમાં કાઉન્ટ કરી શકીએ છીએ. ટુ ઇન્ક્રીઝ ધી ક્રિએટિવિટી. ઇફ વી આર ડિસાઇડિંગ ઇન ધી present for the future activities, so we can create a new idea, innovative ideas in the organization. So creativity must be boosted in the organization. So here we can say that it is the objective of the planning to increase the creativity. Okay. Seventh point, enhance the performance. કાર્યક્ષમતાને વધારવું અથવા પરફોર્મન્સને વધારી શકીએ છીએ, એને બૂસ્ટ કરી શકીએ છીએ. કોના કારણે આપણે વધારી શકીએ છીએ? પ્લાનિંગના કારણે. સો આપણે શું કહેશું? ટુ એન્હાન્સ ધી પરફોર્મન્સ. ઇટ ઇઝ ધી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ઓફ ધી પ્લાનિંગ, ઓર વી કેન સે દેટ અલ્ટિમેટલી વિથ ધ હેલ્પ ઓફ પ્લાનિંગ વી કેન અચીવ ધીસ વર્ક. લાઈક ધીસ 7 વર્ક્સ, દેર આર મેની ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ બટ ધીસ આર ધી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ ઓફ ધી પ્લાનિંગ. ક્લિયર? Like a specific result that a person or system aims to achieve within a time frame and with available resources. Okay. Here The next is, everyone clear about it? Okay, if any students have any doubt in this point, please feel free to ask. Now the next point is about the objective. What is objective? What is the meaning of objective? Which types of point we should cover under the objective? Okay, so about the objective, it is also the separate point, like planning, objective of planning, and the separate point is objective. So what is objective? It is also the question of your examination, like write down about the objective. So both point are different, like objectives of planning, it is the different question, and only objective like this, it is also a different point, separate point. Clear? So what is objective? A specific result that a person or system aims to achieve within a time frame and with available resources in the organization. It's called objective. A specific result that a person or system aims to achieve within a time frame and with available resources in the organization, it's called objective. In a simple word માં હું તમને કહું કે objective એટલે કાંઈ નહીં, આપણા પાસે જે સંસાધનો છે તે અને આપણા પાસે જે સમય છે તે, એ બંનેને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને આપણે શું અચીવ કરવા માગીએ છીએ અથવા શું અચીવ કરવા માગીએ, શું અચીવ કરવાનું છે તે ડિસાઇડ કરવાની પ્રક્રિયા એટલે objective. ક્લિયર? અથવા નક્કી કરી લેવું કે લિમિટેડ રિસોર્સિસ અને લિમિટેડ સમયમાં આપણે શું મેળવવા માગીએ છીએ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનની અંદર, તેને ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ કહેશું. ક્લિયર? લાઈક ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ મિનિંગ, અને ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ઇઝ અ સ્પેસિફિક કમિટમેન્ટ ટુ અચીવ અ મેઝરેબલ રિઝલ્ટ વિધિન અ પ્રેઝન્ટ ડેડલાઇન. Nature of objective. Objectives tends to constitute a hierarchy as well as a network. A hierarchy એટલે કે આપણે સ્તર કહી શકીએ છીએ, પાર્ટ્સ કહી શકીએ છીએ, લેયર કહી શકીએ છીએ. હેરાર્કી એટલે લેયર કહી શકીએ છીએ. A hierarchy ranges from a broad aim to achieving a specific target. Okay? Clear? Now, the characteristics of objectives. What are the characteristics of the objective? Like objective should be understandable. ધ્યેય અથવા ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ જે હોય એ સમજી શકાય તે ટાઈપનું હોવું જોઈએ, અને એ ટાઈપનું હોય જ છે. તો એનું ફર્સ્ટ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ છે. ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ શુડ બી કોન્ક્રીટ એન્ડ સ્પેસિફિક, એકદમ ક્લિયર અને બંધાયેલું હોવું જોઈએ, ના કે વિખાયેલું જેવું તેવું ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ હોવું જોઈએ, પણ સમજી શકાય અને ક્લિયર હોવું જોઈએ, અને એ હોય છે, જે કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સમાં આપણે કાઉન્ટ કરી શકીએ છીએ. થર્ડ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ, objectives should be related to a time frame. We can say that in a particular time duration we want to achieve the particular goal. That's why it is the characteristics of the objective. Like objective should be related to a time frame. There is a fixed time duration of the objective. Under that, if we are achieving that goal, then it is good. If we are overlapping this time duration, then it is not called the objective. That's why it is the characteristics of the objective. Like objective should be related to a time frame. The fourth characteristics, objectives should be measurable and controllable. We must measure the objective and we must control the activities related to the objective. So it is the characteristics of the objective, like objective should be measurable and controllable. Clear? Fifth point, objective should be challenging. We cannot put very easy objective or aim. We must put challenging activities in the organization. We must put challenging activities in our personal life to achieve. That's why objective should be a challenging. Next point, sixth point or sixth characteristics, like different objectives should correlate with each other, or we can say that both are connected with each others. That's why different objective ultimately connected with the same objective. Like objective of the organization is to earning maximum profit, so we are putting the different objective, like objective to maximize the production, objective to decrease the cost of the production. Ultimately the main objective of these two is like increasing the profit in the organization. So different objectives should be correlated with each other. It is characteristics of objectives. objectives should be set within constraint, or we can say that a pure data. બરોબર પ્રોપર ડેટા હોય, બરોબર ઇન્ફોર્મેશન હોય, એના બેઝ ઉપરથી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ફિક્સ થાય છે. ઓકે, clear till here? Now the advantages of objectives and disadvantages or limitations of the objectives. What are the advantages of objectives is, the first advantages of objectives is improved corporate image. If we are able to managing the objectives in the organization, we are deciding the goal of the organization, so that it can improve the corporate image. For example, Tata, they are able to improve their image in the society. Why? Because of their objective. Their main objective is to provide the benefit to the society. Whatever activities they are performing in the place of our country, the main objectives of their organization is to provide benefit to the employees, benefit to the society, so that the image of the corporate increase, because they are clear about their objectives or aims or goal. Second advantage is increase customer loyalty. If we are sure about the vision about the company or organization, mission, vision is nothing but one type of objective of the organization, so that it increase the loyalty of the customers. Okay, cost cutting. In the objective, we are deciding whatever activities we are going to perform or what we want to achieve. It is one type of aim which will help us to cut the cost of the production. So cost cutting may be possible with the help of objective or deciding the objective. So it is the advantages of objective. Fourth advantages is it improved staff motivation and improved staff moral. Yes, motivation and moral can be increased or improved with the help of objective, because in the objective we clarify the mission and vision of the organization, so that whoever joined with this organization must clear about the vision and mission of the company, so that the motivation and the moral of the staff will increase because of objective. Clear? If organization is fully clear about the future activities, organization is fully clear about their work, which types of goal they want to achieve, then their employees must be satisfied with their work, because they know that what company want, which types of activities they want to perform, so that as per their match of the interest they can perform. So motivation and moral is possible with the help of objective. Providing accurate information and labeling. Yes, objective is the place where through which we can get accurate information and labeling. Okay, active community work. If we are fully clear about the future work, if our objective is fixed, so that we can communicate very easily with others, and active community work can be performed with the help of clear idea and goal. So that it is the advantages. Having consideration for the environment, we are fully clear about the environment, we are fully clear about the work, so that objective will help us to consideration નક્કી કરું for the environment, which types of environment we want in our organization, which types of activities, which type of culture we must follow in the organization. It may be clear with the help of objectives. The last point, adhering to fair employment practices, or we can say that we can modify the employees activities, we can increase the employees activities in the organization, so that work is fixed, goal is fixed. So it will help us to improve the good work and the fair employment practices in the organization, because organization is clear about their goal, so that employees can also be clear with it. Okay, now the limitation. Compliance cost. If we are focusing on to the objective side, objective will take time and it is also costlier. Why? Because we cannot directly decide the future activities, we cannot directly decide the objective of the organization, but we need time, we need money to compile these activities, so it increase the cost of the production or cost of the company. Lower profits, because we are focusing on to the future activities and we are deciding the goal which may occur, the lower profit for the organizer. Stakeholder conflicts, many times the objective of the different person is different, or the different stakeholders has a different objectives. It may create conflict in the organization. Okay, so these are the limitations, main three limitations of the objectives. Not like ethical behavior is very subjective. What is right or wrong like depends on the individuals. Laws have been put in a place to correct this. Anti-discrimination laws, health and safety at work laws. Let's look this point in your reference book. I have mentioned at the page number. You may read your reference book, that time you can get these answers. So these are the limitations of objectives. Clear? Now the next point is types of objectives, like internal objectives and external objectives. So what is internal objectives and what is external objectives? Like in the internal objectives are about improving how we work as a team. Is our team highly engaged? Do we feel like we have a good development plans? Are we continuously learning and growing? Do we believe in our team's mission and know how we contribute? Ultimately, we can say that when we are focusing to the internal way of the activities, like internal goal, internal objectives, it's called internal objectives, means we are fully clear about the internal way of the organization. ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનની અંદરની એક્ટિવિટીઝ રિલેટેડ ગોલને ઇન્ટરનલ ગોલ કહેશું. એક્સટર્નલ ગોલ એટલે કે ઇન્ટરનલ વર્ક સિવાયની બાહ્ય પરિબળોને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને જે બી ગોલ નક્કી કરવામાં આવે છે, ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ નક્કી કરવામાં આવે છે, એને એક્સટર્નલ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ કહેશું. ઇન્ટરનલ ગોલની અંદર કયા પોઈન્ટ્સ આપણે કન્સિડર કરીએ છીએ, કયા પોઈન્ટને આપણે ધ્યાનમાં લઈએ છીએ, જેમ કે ઇઝ અવર ટીમ હાઈલી એંગેજ, how we work as a team, do we feel like we have a good development plans, are we continuously learning and growing, do we believe in our team's mission and know how we contribute. These are the internal points which make clear the internal objectives. Like external objectives which is not controllable, but otherwise internal objectives are controllable or semi-controllable, but external objectives are not controllable, like aimed at making an impact outside our team. This outsider can be other employees at our company who reside outside our team, or external stakeholders such as end users, consumers, or partners. In a simple word, we can say that there are two types of objective, like internal objective and external objective. Internal objective means when we are focusing to the internal activities of the organization and want to improve, want to perform in a particular way, it's called internal objective. When the external objective, when we are not able to managing these things, it is the outside of the organization or outside our department, so that which types of activities we are performing to improve the goal, how to achieve the goal, but which external factors influence, but externally which types of work we want in our organization. So these types of objective called external objectives. બાહ્ય ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ અને આંતરિક ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ. આંતરિક ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સમાં ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનની અંદરની એક્ટિવિટીઝ રિલેટેડ આપણે ધ્યેય નક્કી કરીએ છીએ. બાહ્ય ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સનું બાહ્ય ધ્યેયમાં આપણે કહી શકીએ છીએ કે જે આપણે બહાર પરફોર્મ કરવા માગતા હોઈએ, બાહ્ય પરિબળોને આપણે જે ઇમ્પેક્ટ આપવા માગતા હોઈએ તેના રિલેટેડ એક્ટિવિટીઝ. ઓકે, ધેટ્સ ઓલ ફોર ટુડેઝ લેક્ચર. We will learn next point in the next lecture, like hierarchy of objectives. We will learn this point in your next lecture, and I have put this page, scanned page in your PPT. You will get this page from your reference book as well as from your Jamna Das book. Okay, so we will start this point from the next lecture. That's all for today's lecture. We will learn next point in the next lecture. Thank you.